Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
I refuse to wear the mask. I have a list of reasons. This is important. When we go into a shop, stand your ground, folks. If they ask me, I just say, listen, I have a condition that prevents me from wearing a mask. It's called an immune system.
Drea Humphrey here with Rebel News, standing in front of the Vancouver Art Gallery. Now, this gallery is becoming less known for art these days, as it is for being a protest hotspot for British Columbians who are concerned about their fundamental freedoms being squashed by COVID-19 what-ifs. Similar to the Victoria Freedom protests I covered last week, today's protesters are pointing their fingers at BC's Provincial Health Officer, Bonnie Henry. Behind me is the start of the Ban Bonnie protest, hosted by No New Normal, 100 Million Mums, and Liberty Talk. It's calling to have Dr. Bonnie Henry banned from all media because if they don't, they feel she will destroy the province of BC. This is a timely protest taking place just one day after Dr. Bonnie Henry called a rare weekend Saturday update where she used a rise in 567 cases as the strength behind hammering British Columbians with drastic new COVID-19 restrictions. Gatherings of any size with people outside of their immediate household are no longer allowed in the comfort of their own home, and more restrictions, including banning indoor group fitness activities such as yoga, boxing, hockey, and more, are now the reality here in BC. And the real kicker is that Dr. Bonnie says it's only for 2 weeks. Well, we've heard that before, and the protesters here are not buying any of it. So let's hear what else they have to say.
Bonnie must go! Bonnie must go!
Tell us why you're at the Ban Bonnie protest.
I'm here, I think, because I realize that there's several voices in this discussion, and unfortunately the media only produces one voice for me to listen to, and I don't feel that voice is legitimate. And I wish that those voices that would be our authoritative voices would at least answer to the question of legitimacy of their claims.
So with her latest restrictions, she's saying, don't worry guys, it's just 2 weeks. Do you believe that at all?
I don't think so, because I've seen elements of the broader agenda, and I think that they're going to keep moving it along as much as they can, and I think that's why we have to be out here and be vigilant about saying, no, we can't let them move this along. We have to have our words heard, and I think it's essential for these kind of things in order to keep any kind of freedom in our world.
What brought you to the Ban Bonnie protest today?
We need to stop the lies. We need our freedom, and I'm here for my family, for my children, their children's children, and to give them a better life. And if I can leave some type of legacy for them, I hope this is it. I just want them to be able to live their life free of lies, and realize it's really hard to get across to them that this is not the truth that's going out there, and my family lives in fear. So I'm just here to in support of this rally, and freedom for all.
And tell us what it felt like when you first heard the newest restrictions from Bonnie.
I was appalled. I was disgusted. I was just disgusted. Totally disgusted. I was almost in tears.
So the march is on the way. We're walking uphill now, working out the quads. And I'm here with Odessa. She was also one of the speakers, and Liberty Talk is one of the organizers of today's Ban Bonnie protest. So let everybody know why this is so important to put the spotlight on Bonnie right now.
Because Bonnie is affecting British Columbia, and so we need to call her out that she is lying, just like the rest of the health authority who are being made to lie. Bonnie has received, I know this for a fact, hundreds and hundreds of letters from doctors and then thousands from citizens who are educated that this PCR test they're using is a bunch of junk. She shouldn't be using it, and they're just using it to get more cases. And you'll notice all they talk about is cases, 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 and not death, because this is just somebody tests positive, but hardly anyone is dying. And they have purposely started testing more people. This is a fact, and all of the doctors are talking about it, to keep these lockdowns happening.
Well, you know, it's quite interesting. In BC, we have over 5 million people. We've had 270-something deaths. And you're right, it's cases, cases, cases. Why do you think, you know, in the last couple of weeks, we've really seen, though, the restrictions come down hard? Do you think there's anything reason that the timing is happening like that?
There's 2 reasons. One is, and this is not a conspiracy theory, there's always been a planned second lockdown. If anybody wants to get off their butt and learn about what's really going on, go on to the World Economic Forum, the UN Agenda 21, 25, and 30. These are not conspiracy theories. They have to lock us down and destroy the economy as planned, so that they can do the financial reset. If you don't believe me, go and watch Klaus Schwab's most recent meeting he had to everybody, to the public. The other reason is they had to wait until flu season came to get these quote-unquote fraudulent cases. The flu this year on statistics has all but disappeared, and they're calling it COVID because Bonnie has been placed here by the WHO, by the UN, by Bill Gates to complete this mission of locking us down on a fraudulent PCR test.
So you're wearing your mask, it's protecting you from this deadly airborne virus, but obviously while you're eating and you take the mask off, viruses, they respect the rules like rules of war. They won't get you when you're eating, right? I mean, come on! It's crazy. I refuse to wear the mask. I have a list of reasons. This is important. When you go into a shop, stand your ground, folks. If they ask me, I just say, listen, I have a condition that prevents me from wearing a mask. It's called an immune system.
Alex was speaking today. He was actually doing some COVID comedy. Give us your best Bonnie Henry joke.
Best Bonnie Henry joke? Oh my God, there's so many jokes. I don't know where to begin with her. She doesn't want us. She doesn't want us kissing. She wants us to use sexual positions that avoid face-to-face contact. And that might work. If you date some real ugly girls or some ugly dudes, that's good for you. Hey, it's the law. Turn around. I don't want to look at your face. That's fine. But that's not for me. It's all about the love. They want us to make love without having the love. That's crazy. They want us to. She actually said they want us to use a glory hole sheet. They want you to put a divider and cut a hole in it and make love that way. Okay, this is on a government website. It's absolutely, totally crazy. Like, people think you're making up these jokes. You're not making up these jokes. So it just gets crazier, crazier. In the UK government, came out and said, hey, don't make love to anybody who you don't live with. Well, what if I'm 17 and I live at home with my parents? What are you saying, UK government? What are you saying? So it's crazy, and it's good for comedians, though. But hopefully it'll wake people up because it's getting completely insane out there.
Is it good for comedians? You guys have taken a real hit about where you can actually do your trade.
Yes, but it's good for material. Like it's never been it's ridiculous. If you're awake and you see what's going on, it's hilarious. If you believe in the narrative and you're like, I gotta stay home and not go out, yeah, then it's not so funny. But I suspect more and more people as they wake up will start joking about this, and that's how we're gonna wake up a lot of people, by making fun of just how absolutely ridiculous this all is right now.
So what brought you to the Ban Bonnie protest?
I'm standing up to protect our freedoms and protect our freedom of choice over our body. I've seen the media lie about this COVID and get everybody so scared. They're wearing masks, they're socially distancing. It's pure evil what's happening.
What about the restrictions? I mean, not being able to socialize with anyone in your home. You can go out and have a coffee with someone, but they're not allowed in your house.
Yeah, like hell. Okay, like hell. You're going to stop my family from visiting me in my house or me visiting them? Okay, this strikes at the very foundation of everything that is worth anything. They're attacking the family, and if people can't recognize this, we can't help them.
All right, this is Susan Stanfield. You're one of the organizers of this event from the 100 Million Moms. And so you guys are actually taking legal action to try and have Bonnie removed from media, right?
Yeah, so I call it direct legal action. I have 20 years of activism, and this is the way to do it, is to pursue direct legal action to ban her from appearing in the media, which is not unreasonable, and there's so much evidence to make a case why she should not be appearing in the media and saying what she's saying.
So why is this important?
Well, it's for 2 or 3 reasons. One, she's an appointed person. She's not elected. And she's completely overreaching her office, and what she is saying is fraudulent, right? The PCR test was not designed for diagnostic purposes. And now, in the last 2 months, that's mainly the reason why she's putting in new orders, which are fraud and are legal, and nobody needs to pay attention to them. But she's convincing people using the media to follow and obey these orders, which is unlawful and it's illegal. So we have to ban her from having access to the media.
So we're seeing a lot of restrictions here, a lot that don't make sense to me. Like one is saying, okay, you can still have a funeral, but only one family, or not family, one people who live in the same household can attend. So basically, God forbid my father passes away. That means only my mother can attend. The adult children can't attend. So why do you think, our health advisors like Bonnie Henry are getting to pass such restrictions like this with such low deaths in BC?
Right. Well, they're trying to fool people by, coming up with new cases, right? By the PCR test, right? And we know that the PCR testing are faulty. There's up to 95% false positives. And even the inventor of the PCR test, Carrie Mullis, said that the test is not meant to test for virus or infectious disease. So it's a wrong test, and cases mean nothing. It doesn't mean that people are sick. It just means that there's stuff in the genetic material that, and BC, the amplification cycle is 40. So anything over 30 is very sensitive. It'll test everything positive. So they'll just keep going with this testing and then just justify lockdown.
Yeah, I think you're right. The test has a lot to do with it, and concerned Ontario doctors on their Twitter, to kind of dumb it down for the rest of us, they said cases don't equal infection. Cases don't equal infection. They said it 3 times, but I don't think Bonnie Henry has gotten that message yet. Well, there you have it. About 100 people gathered today who are not having it with these restrictions anymore. 2 weeks or not, they've had enough, and they want the light shined on Dr. Bonnie Henry. They want her off of the media. Comment below. Let me know what you think. For now, Drea Humphrey with Rebel News. Here at Rebel News, we bring you the other side of the story, and that includes people who are done with Dr. Bonnie Henry. If you'd like to support our independent journalism, please do so by donating whatever you can at helprebelnews.com. We appreciate your support.